A lot of this slide talks to many of the challenges that Richard has already alluded to, but I'll just again put a bit of a Scotland lens on there in terms of early indicators. So our international inbound remains the key driver of growth, particularly in terms of visitor volume and expenditure, and we are expecting to see continued growth in 2025, single-digit percentage terms uplift. And the USA will remain our largest international market, but as Richard has alluded to, we expect that growth to slow and to not be driving the sort of double-digit growth that we have seen in recent years. Our opportunity markets include some of the Asian markets. Again, that we've seen that slower recovery coming out of COVID, but we're definitely driving growth prior to the pandemic. And we know that there's a lot of opportunity to re-encourage those visitors and build on the work prior to 2019 to encourage those visitors to think about Scotland again. Emerging markets in the UAE and India in a similar position where we were seeing those developing prior to COVID, and now that post-pandemic travel is settling a bit, we hope to see them return in 2025, 26 and beyond. Southern Europe and the Nordics, again, are already coming through in our data for 24 as growth markets, opportunity markets. So we'll be working with partners to encourage continued visitation from them moving forward. But key challenges for the sector remain a reduction in in-trip spend and shortening stays, which are impacting particularly on occupancy rates for our accommodation providers. And as Richard alluded to, we are seeing evidence both from domestic, but in recent times more keenly from the international market, of that tightening booking window and a wait-and-see attitude, as Richard said, which offers challenges for free and independent travellers, but equally opportunities to work with tour operators and the membership today to secure those earlier bookings and provide confidence to our tourism sector of that advanced booking. Also to work with their expertise in terms of securing later and last minute bookings and itineraries, because a key challenge of that shorter booking time is a reduced engagement period where you can build that itinerary, you can build knowledge of the destination and encourage regional spread. So I think potentially on the face of it, not a particularly positive behaviour can be flipped to a strength for Scotland, for the UK and our visitors who are choosing us in the near future. And then just a very quick shameless plug for two pieces of research and insight that we have published. The first being our travel trends looking out to 2027, although it was published in 25, still a lot of relevant content in there for the future look in terms of consumer demand and interest, with a particular Scotland lens, but equally applicable to the UK. So people looking to travel and incorporate their passions into their stay, so looking potentially at more niche markets, interests. We've looked recently at things like tattoo tourism, where people are now, instead of a tattoo perhaps being a mistake on a holiday or associated with perhaps like maybe impulse choice, actually the artist has been sought out, and that is one of the drivers of someone choosing to visit Scotland or other destinations. So we're interested to see how that's a good anecdotal example of someone's passion then translating into a driver for travel. Richard also talked again about that community place and sense of place and pride. So again, immersive experiences we know, and regenerative tourism and how visitors can look to give back, which is refreshing attitude when we have seen in years gone past a tourist attitude. I think now people definitely consider themselves to be a visitor and contributor to destinations. And then the last piece is our Trends for 2025 paper, which we will be refreshing and hope to publish in the coming weeks and months, and I'll share with Tom so it can be shared with the membership. But just to highlight that we do have some forward-looking trends work on visitscotland.org for the membership to have access to if helpful. Thank you.